The desert heat came in waves that made the ground ripple like a mirage, but she never slowed down. Dr. Arya Lane walked with purpose across the cracked asphalt of the abandoned satellite relay station, her boots striking the ground with a rhythm that matched her heartbeat. 3 days without real sleep, 7 months of research, and 10 years of being dismissed as a fraud by people who never bothered to check her evidence. Today, she wasn't here to argue. Today, she was here to prove it. She carried a tablet tucked under her arm and a weatherproof case slung over her shoulder. The case held a specialized uplink module, her last shot at validation, her final chance to show the world she wasn't lying. She had told everyone that the signal she detected wasn't noise or atmospheric interference, but intentional communication. Intelligent, precise. But every time she presented her findings, she was told the same thing: coincidence, misinterpretation, junk data. Worst of all, they said she was hallucinating patterns because she wanted the truth too badly. The gate creaked as she pushed it open. Inside, the wind carried the metallic scent of rust and the distant smell of ozone. She glanced up at the old dish, towering 50 feet above her, skeletal, scarred with age, but still functional. She had spent 2 years mapping abandoned military infrastructures that were never fully decommissioned, quiet relics no one cared about. This one had a direct tie line into the orbital satellite network used during deep space research missions. It was never wiped. That meant if her signal appeared again, this station could catch it. Arya reached the control booth and tossed her backpack onto a metal table. Dust rose in a lazy cloud, glittering in the shafts of fading afternoon light. She plugged in tables, bypassed a breaker panel, rerouted power to the uplink, and flicked a switch. The machinery hummed, slowly at first, then louder. Lights chased across the console like waking eyes. She slid into the chair and tapped the interface, fingers moving with the speed of someone who had rehearsed this moment hundreds of times. The system recognized her hardware. Access granted. She exhaled slowly. Her reflection glinted weakly against the cracked monitor. Sharp jawline, hair pulled back, shadows under her eyes deep enough to look like bruises. She wasn't glamorous or intimidating. Just stubborn. Relentlessly, painfully stubborn. Behind her, gravel cracked under tires. A black SUV rolled to a stop on the far edge of the compound. Doors opened, boots hit the ground. Arya didn't turn around, she didn't have to. She knew the sound of people sent to shut her down. "Dr. Lane," a voice shouted. Martial voice, authority voice. "You're trespassing on federal property. Step away from the console." She kept typing. "I have authorization to be here," she said without looking back. One of them laughed. "The same authorization you forged last time?" Another voice, sharper, female, commanding. "Cut in. Bring her in." Hands grabbed her shoulders, yanking her away from the console. Arya didn't fight. She simply kept her eyes on the number streaming across the screen. The signal frequency was rising. It was back. At the security outpost, they cuffed her to a chair. The room was stark, white walls, buzzing lights, a table bolted to the floor. A camera blinked red in the corner. Across from her sat Deputy Director Marcus Hale of the Strategic Aeronautics Oversight Bureau, a man whose tie alone looked like it cost more than her grant proposals. "Dr. Lane," he said, opening a folder thick with reports. "You have repeatedly entered restricted zones, accessed government systems, and fabricated evidence." She met his gaze without blinking. "I didn't fabricate anything." He slid a picture across the table, a still frame of her presenting at a conference, pointing at a graph while the audience laughed. "You have chased this fantasy for years. There is no extraterrestrial signal." Arya leaned forward, voice steady. "Then why does your agency monitor the frequency range associated with deep space telemetry?" He paused. She smiled, tired but sure. "You wouldn't watch a frequency that leads to nowhere." He tapped the table, annoyed. Even if a signal existed, it couldn't possibly be communication from intelligent life. Not unless it scares you. He stood. You are done. After today, you will not access another piece of equipment again. Before she could respond, a siren blared. A young analyst rushed into the room, tablet in hand. Sir, the dish is transmitting something. The uplink she connected, it locked onto an active satellite relay station. Hale snatched the tablet. His expression shifted. Arya leaned back, chains clinking softly. What's it say, Marcus? He whispered.